Well, we're about 5 minutes into a new administration, so that means it's that time again where about every 4 years someone demands an assault weapons ban, talks about a whole bunch of things they know nothing about, and then everyone virtue signals. Hard. Joe Biden is many, many things, many icky, creepy, and massively forgetful things, but on this, he is exactly on time. Before we get to the rest of this video, I want to give a quick shout out to Blackout Coffee Company, not to be confused with Black Rifle Coffee, which I know some of you are very mad at. Blackout Coffee Company is a mom and pop outfit out of Florida that is so pro Second Amendment that they even have special Second Amendment brews. To check them out and help support the channel, use my link down in the description. Sunday was the 3-year anniversary of the Parkland shooting, and President Joe Biden decided to mark this occasion by releasing a statement calling on Congress to enact so-called common sense gun control, and promising to end the epidemic of school shootings by passing an assault weapons ban, requiring universal background checks, which are, for the most part, already a thing, banning high-capacity magazines, and holding gun manufacturers liable if a bad person does a bad thing with one of their products. Surprisingly, he even mentioned the gang violence in places like Chicago, but only in passing. And you know, back in the day when I worked a community nonprofit and worked with gang members, I learned a really funny thing, and that's that criminals tend not to care that they're breaking the law. Crazy. I know. While one of my recent videos focused on H.R. 127, a search for the term gun under legislation in the new session pulls up 18 entries, while firearm brings 36. A new and dedicated assault weapons ban hasn't been filed yet, but it's usually filed every session by America's sweetheart, Dianne Feinstein. Magazine bans are usually tied up in that bill and will be following. There is also information floating around in the ether that Debbie Wasserman Schultz plans to reintroduce Jamie's Law. Man, that woman has been embroiled in controversy after controversy, but she just keeps on going like a little ramen noodle Energizer bunny. I covered Jamie's Law approximately 10 years ago in COVID years, aka March 2019. The bill would require background checks on ammo purchases and would criminalize all personal sales. Back then, it had 54 co-sponsors and was on the way to the Senate via good old Dick Blumenthal, and yes, I am recycling that joke. But really, the joke's on them because it's not like there's ammo out there to buy right now anyway. Meanwhile, Shannon Watts, who I've never personally interacted with, ever, but has blocked me on Twitter anyway, recently told reporters that it's been 25 years since Congress passed a gun safety law, by which she means an assault weapons ban, and Wasserman Schultz said in her presser that the prospects for gun control are now the sunniest they've been in years. This was in reference to a Democrat majority in Congress and the perception of an NRA that's been weakened beyond repair. An article detailing all of these new hopes and dreams also mentions that Congress plans to take another look at the Luke and Alex School Safety Act, another 2019 relic that would require the Department of Homeland Security to get involved in school safety, in conjunction with the Department of Education, Secretary of Health, and the Attorney General. While the bill doesn't expressly state the objective as gun control, Ted Deutsch, who reintroduced the bill, has already made it clear that gun control is the intention. Meanwhile, the Las Vegas Sun interviewed Joe Biden on his gun control plan in January of 2020, and for some reason chose not to publish it until about 2 weeks ago. Biden answered the gun control question by immediately pointing out that he beat the NRA in political fisticuffs twice, stating that he's the man behind the Brady Bill, that he helped get the 1994 assault weapons ban off the ground, and by golly, he plans to do it all again. Highlights of his response also included his thoughts that even 10 rounds were too many, and a reminder that he can basically do whatever he wants through executive order. In the interview, he also talked about smart gun technology, which he claims is already up and running in excellent order. I'm pretty sure that's not actually the case, but in the interview, he claimed that the techno geniuses in Silicon Valley told him that they could do it, and so he plans to require all guns to be smart guns, which is not going to work the way he thinks it does and will effectively freeze out anyone who isn't a millionaire if they're looking to purchase legally. But the most important part in the entire interview is this. He says, "I am absolutely convinced I can get gun safety legislation passed. The way we did it last time is we included it in a larger bill that had really good things in it, like the Violence Against Women Act, community policing, etc. So the way you give cover to some of our Republican friends who are scared of the NRA, and this outfit owns the White House right now, is you put it in a larger bill. So they, Republicans, say, look, I had to vote for it." So in this interview, which for some unknown reason wasn't published until over a year later, Joe Biden tells us he's going to try and get gun control through in two ways: by executive order and by tucking it into some other bigger and completely unrelated bill. Like, I don't know, maybe a COVID relief package? Those seem to be pretty hot right now. The irony is that in his next breath, he talks about how Trump abused the power of executive orders, but hey, do as I say, not as I do, right, Joe? Now, it is true that the Democrat majority in the Senate is pretty slim, but in these situations, if there's ever a tie, the vice president is the magical tiebreaker vote. And we're not even a month into the new administration, and Kamala Harris has already done this with a COVID bill. So this video is more of an omen and a warning for folks to be vigilant about what's coming down the pike. While some of this stuff has not been introduced yet, some of it is stuff that's always introduced, and the rest of it is stuff that people are telling us they're going to introduce. We are certainly going to be fighting an uphill battle with this administration if we want to keep our rights. So please like, share, and subscribe to this channel to stay updated on all things liberty related, and check out the deals and support options down in the description. Until next time, thanks for tuning in, stay safe, and happy shooting.